I'm here purely to be a champion. I don't want to be anything else. Second means nothing to me. For sure, next year the aim must be to win the league. It must be. I think the answer to that is twofold, really. One, I wanted to get some experience of Europe, which I did before in Holland, and I enjoyed it. But also have an opportunity to win the league. This is a big club, and now I know it a bit more, perhaps a little bit bigger than I expected, and demanding that they win the league, the fans here. And I like that challenge. Obviously, I have a relationship with Danny that convinced me to come. My main brief really at this football club is to try and lift us in the position that I'm in. Obviously, if I'm not the manager, I can't determine the tactics of the team. That's the manager's job, that's Lubo's job, and the shape, etc., etc. But I can give my opinion after the game. I can offer the board here and the manager some, we call them in English, tidbits, little bits that might just help us move the team forward. Of course, there's no pressure on me because of results. I'm not in the results business in terms of the manager, the pressure that's on him. So in a way, I have a lot of experience, and I have no fog of pressure. And I know from my experience as a manager that that can get in the way of making articulate and decisions that work for the team or the club. So I'm immune from that, you know. So I give what I think is a clear vision of where the club is, what individual players are doing, what we should perhaps look at. Smolensk is a player that I like. He's a young player, and he played the other day and it didn't go well. And you know, that situation I want to manage. I want to make sure he's okay. Let him play in the younger teams and get some experience, go on loan, you know, or whatever. That kind of vision is what I'm here for. And also the infrastructure of the club. Change little things at the training ground, giving staff members little bits that hopefully get them thinking about taking their role forward as well. So when I'm here, sitting here in this way, I'm in format that you've given me, I don't want to be like I am the know-all of football. Of course I'm not, and I'm not preaching to Bulgarian football. That's very, very important. But I do have experience, and I do have a clear vision because I have no pressure. So I'm giving an honest account of what I see. That's it. The infrastructure of the club is obviously got to be improved. There's no doubt about that. Speaking to Danny and Grisha about, you know, trying to get planning permission for the new stadium is always a political process, like all countries. The training ground actually is of a good standard, and I was quite impressed with that. So, you know, that part of the club needs to grow. The academy needs to grow. It needs to get better coaching. We need to kind of open up a little bit, I think, because I find it's very tense, the football here. You know, the league is tense. The players are tense. The referees are tense. And the youth games I've witnessed as well are a little bit too tense. It needs to just like loosen up a little bit. And I think you get more technical ability, more enjoyment for the fans, and a better product if we go down that road. And I think that's something else that I think there's some ideas around that. The transfer policy in CSKA is very similar to most top clubs. You have the ownership of the club that has a say, for sure, because that's where the finance is. So you have to respect that. They also have to look at the long-term view of the club and the well-being of the club financially. Remember, we're in COVID, so all the owners of the football clubs in this country need a pat on the back, because from what I can gather, everyone's been paid and there's no one coming through the terraces, and it is difficult. And we was under pressure financially a little bit, and we moved a couple of very good players on, Ali So in particular. But when I arrived at the football club, I think Danny made it clear that, you know, last window he was meant to have gone, and the player's mindset was to go. So we didn't really have a choice with Ali. Personally, I thought he was terrific for the football club, and I know our fans loved him. So he moved on. But also Antov, and Antov was a strange one because this was a decision where you want to keep your best young players, but this was a great opportunity for him to go to Italy at his age, to gain that experience. We still have an option in that contract where he might come back to us, and you know, there's part of me that would love to see him back at the football club, but you can't stand in the way. We're not top of the pyramid here, the Bulgarian football. And to go and play in Serie A was an opportunity that I don't think we could have stopped him. So, and actually, that might be better for us going forward as well, that we do that, because players need to understand that they maybe have a stepping stone to big success, big clubs that is the pyramid of football. So disappointed to lose him, but in a way, it was the right thing to do. The players we brought in, difficult games for them to kick on in. Kosh in particular, having to come in as a defender in those top games. And he's dealt with it very, very well. And they're settling in. Casido has scored goals, and I think he will score more. But this team needs more goals. We need to, in the next window, address that. We need to find some strikers, midfield players who are going to contribute to the goals. We can't rely on Ali So in the first half of the season and Casido to score goals. There's just too much pressure on them. And when they missed, I remember when Ali missed a couple of chances, but there shouldn't be that much pressure on the striker. We should be scoring goals from other areas, and that's something we need to address, I think, in the next window. I think when I look at our team, you know, we have some outstanding individuals. From the moment I've watched us play, the leaders come to the fore in different ways. I think Jefferson, Tiato, Amos, kind of have a leadership qualities about themselves. But Jurgen Matteo, for me, is probably the most influential player. I think he's a player that's really impressed me with his vocal skills on the pitch, his organisation of the back 4 or 5 when Bruno was here, and also his individual skill on the ball. Certainly, of all the players, he's the one that's impressed me most. Well, certainly Luo come here at a difficult time for in terms of the fixtures. We have Ludogorets in the semi-final almost straight away, and he certainly lifted the team. And you sometimes get that with a new manager, a new bounce, but the style changed. We went from a back 3 to a back 4, and I think that helped the individual players here. I think it suits the team more, that system. And you know, the performances that we've had have been very good. I mean, I think he's settled in well. He knows the club, of course. He's been manager here before. He's been manager, a very experienced manager and a great footballing career. So he brings all of that to the camp, and you know, we have this great chance of winning the cup and finishing high, hopefully second place in the league. And I think probably we'd have to count that as a successful season if we manage both those both those targets. But of course, there's other teams who are going to try and stop us doing that. So for sure, next year the aim must be to win the league. It must be. Well, of course, I've seen some old video footage and some of the staff showed me their phones of the fans and the games. I mean, it looks crazy in a good way, which I look forward to, because I've always had a good relationship with the fans, and it will be great. I mean, obviously this COVID situation needs to go away, and God willing it will. But it'd be great to see that stadium full of our fans playing in Europe next season, hopefully, and or defending the cup. That's something we can look forward to, and I certainly will. The few fans that I bumped into, they sound like they're eager to get back. So it'll be a nice rendezvous whenever we get round to it. Thank you. I've enjoyed it, and I'm very pleased to be here. So I haven't spoken to the press since I've been here. I spoke to the English press about a couple of things back in England, but it's nice to finally speak directly to our fans of CSKA.